Hey everyone. So I know that it's been a while since I talked, but last time in January I did a video on the topic imposter syndrome, and I said that I was going to do a monthly discussion topic talk post video like that, and instead I didn't do one in February because, as some of you know, I was really busy with school and my album. So the making of that album, I just thought of that as my February talk, where I talked about, I guess, my creative process behind that. And so March, I wanted to do the topic discussion again. I had so many topics to pick from, but I knew that I had to narrow it down or else this is going to be a very long video. So I thought about it and decided that I wanted to talk about growth. And I picked that because I turned 24 just a week ago. Was it a week ago? Yeah. And birthdays, that's a celebration for growth. And I have a lot of reflections on that. I'm again gonna be reading off some of my notes, so that's why I'll be looking down. If you haven't watched the video about imposter syndrome, I encourage you to, because I think a lot of us know about it, but we don't know when it happens to us or how we can better confront that fear inside of us. So just like how we should visualize our success, we should also visualize the steps we took towards growth. The world tells us to strive for success, for happiness, but what are those things? And how do you know you've obtained it? How do you keep it? The thing is, being successful or being happy, it doesn't equal reaching the finish line. Even if one day you finish doing everything that you've wanted to do in your life and you do amazing, is that it? Like, would you be done with life? Would you stop living or wanting more? My point is, life is a very long marathon, or short, and the only way to really enjoy it is to experience all of it. The good, the bad, the journey of it, and to keep pushing on your boundaries and to be curious about the world, about everything. And again, no one is perfect, and we can all do more and to be better. And it's not a competition between every human being in the world. It's between you today and you yesterday. Life is really more about the journey, the growth, the steps that you took, and not just, it is about the milestones. It is about the little successes on the way. But sometimes you have to recognize that you will take a route that was unexpected. You get thrown off your route, you fall, you trip, you get hurt. But that's okay, because you just gotta keep going and you figure out how to stand back up, figure out how to run with that injury, how to heal from that injury. The growth, that is most important. Growth, by definition, is a process of when you go through change, when you develop and become more mature. So in other words, growth is not a goal you set, it's what you experience. So to speak from personal experience, in 2017, life was good. I thought I had it all figured out, although I wasn't sure where I was gonna work or live or what I was actually gonna do after I graduate. I was happy with my life, and I didn't really think too much about changing any of my goals or setting new ones. And when I look back, I don't remember exactly how I've grown that year. I don't remember if I was working on trying to better myself than I was the year before that, or just every day. And then in 2018, I went through a lot of changes. I've been pretty open about that, at least on here. And it was a real roller coaster ride. And I hate roller coaster rides because I'm scared of falling. That's a thing. And I just kept crashing emotionally. But despite my inner darkness, I kept my appearance bright. Like, I had always been this positive girl, the girl that preached love and life and happiness and gratitude, and eventually my feelings just exploded. I reflected like crazy trying to figure out why why everything happened the way it did. Why me? Why now? Why this? Why everything? And I didn't get the answers, but I kept trying to take those baby steps forward, and looking back, that was growth. If I had never gone through hardship, I would have never asked myself if I was really happy with my life, who I was, and what I wanted out of life. I wasn't that ambitious. I wasn't that curious either. I was comfortable, and I thought I was safe, and I wanted that. I guess I was scared of change, but change will always be a constant. Change is inevitable, and facing those changes forced me to face myself. I couldn't change my reality, but I could change what it meant to me. So in 2019, I actually made New Year resolutions. I don't remember actually making them before. I wanted to learn something new, and I did. I made a new hobby, climbing. I made new friends. I kept on reflecting, and I was happy. Yes, but I wanted more. I wanted to do more, to learn more, to be more, and that was growth. So by the end of 2019, I couldn't even recognize the girl that wrote my diary back in 2018. Reading my diary, I don't know, I was like, ugh. She seemed like a complete different person, and she was me, but I felt so different. In my core, I feel different, and that was my growth. I'm not trying to brag about my own growth, but I am proud because I think we should all think about how we've grown, and if we've grown at all. What did you do today that makes you better than you were yesterday? Did you take a chance? Did you try something new? Did you believe in yourself a little more? Did you love your family today? Did you say sorry to someone and genuinely mean it this time? Those are kind of big things, but they can be little things too. Did you stay home? Wash your hands. Just little things count too. And since growth is a process and not something you can just check off on a list, other than listing the never-ending list of things you can do to experience growth, I'm gonna give a few practical suggestions that I have found, or I've heard, or I've, from personal experience. How to experience growth. First, reflect. You have to sit with yourself and your thoughts and your emotions. I think we have to do that. We just have to. Inner growth stems from your heart and your mind. So you really have to know yourself before you know how to change either yourself or the situation or just how you look at everything. It's like a perspective thing, I guess. To think about who you are, what matters to you, why it matters. Those show your values and your passions in your life. And then you think about what you can do in your life that reflects those things. Does your job matter to you? If it doesn't, how can you change it? If you can't change it, how can you change the way you do it? And then second, count your blessings. I know this is very cliche, but it's not always all about you. We're all the protagonists in our lives, and we all have desires and wants in life, but what do you have? And what about the other people around you? What are your privileges? And are you taking people for granted? Are you appreciating the opportunities given to you? Are you aware of how the little choices you make impact others? I think we need to realize how everything is interconnected and appreciate that we are where we are because of others. We all help each other in some shape or form. Every unique individual contributes in some way. So be grateful. You don't need to compare your life with someone else's, but you should always be grateful for yours because life is priceless. So don't take it for granted. And when you realize that, I think you start noticing what you can do to better appreciate the world, if that makes sense. And then, last but not least, instead of goal setting, define your fears. I watched a TED Talk on this, so I'm gonna link it in the description. Know what is stopping you from taking that step. Weigh it. Push ourselves past that invisible fence. And then you'll realize that not all fears are rational, and that's why some are called irrational fears. And even when some can be really real, you can't live in fear. If you do, you'll be stuck. And to grow, you gotta let the sun shine in, let the rain pour, and be ready to withstand storms. When you bloom, it'll be worth it. Since we're on the topic of fear, a recent universal one has been surrounding the coronavirus. Obviously, I'm no expert, and I, like everyone else, try to look for reliable sources. I try to keep myself informed, but there is a lot out there, information, and it is overwhelming. Personally, I was really looking forward to my birthday. I had trips planned, but that's all like tiny issues compared to people that are actually really impacted, like losing their jobs, losing loved ones. For those that are not taking this seriously, wake up. I don't know. It's really frustrating to know that some people aren't taking this seriously, because this is serious and they won't realize it until it hits them, which sucks. But yeah, and for those that are in panic mode, at a time like this, we must all stay calm and support each other as a community, because we can't all live in fear and buy out all the toilet paper. Because what if someone actually needs it? We can't pretend it's only affecting us, because it's literally affecting everyone. Businesses, artists, teachers, students, doctors and nurses, nonprofits. It's affecting everyone. And the only way to get through this is to help each other, whether financially, physically, or emotionally. Now is the time to offer one another support. And thanks to the internet and social media, I think we can do that. Like, we can check in on each other. And despite the distance, we can pass on the love somehow and fight this together. Because honestly, no one knows when this is going to end. And it might last a while, but it will. It will pass. And when it does, we can all celebrate this together. In the meantime, stay safe. Now is the best time to just sit at home, do some reflecting on your own, and work on that thing that you've always wanted to work on, but never had time to. Because now you have time. So just do it. Don't make excuses for yourself. Just do it. You got this. And I'm just gonna end on that note. Here's to staying healthy. Don't forget to wash your hands a lot. And tell your family that you love them. And pray for this world. Yeah. May we all live in love as much as we can all day, every day.